Okay, Tyler Perry fans, pretty intense news that was released in the past 24 hours about bomb threats at Tyler Perry Studios. Trust and believe I did not expect to have my inbox flooded with messages regarding this pretty surprising event. So, you know the drill. I will leave a link to the full article in the comment section below. And in this video, I'm going to break things down for as much as I do know in regards to the situation and some interesting follow-up that I received this morning from a good 20 plus people who sent the post. So again, we're going to take this one step at a time. Just thankfully, nobody was hurt. And these are things that you really cannot take anything less than seriously. So it seems that back on April 13th, a gentleman named Alrasheed Coles, and I hope I pronounced that right, Alrasheed Coles, was calling Tyler Perry Studios to speak with the man himself directly. The receptionist on the phone informed him that communicating with Mr. Perry was impossible. Mr. Coles began speaking gibberish. From there, the receptionist was understandably freaked out and hung up the phone and blocked his number. However, later on, she found a voicemail that Mr. Coles had left in which he allegedly threatened to blow Tyler Perry Studios up. Atlanta PD was contacted shortly after. He was then tracked down and arrested for making terroristic threats. He was charged, with a felony and was briefly detained at Fulton County Jail. As of the time of that article, he was released on a $5,000 bond. And other articles report that he was released on that bond back on May 17th, which was last Tuesday. But going back to what I said earlier, just thankfully nobody was hurt. And as someone who spent 3 years in a call center, yeah, you just never, it's like they would always say on the job, you never know what's going to happen when you pick up that phone in terms of like the demeanor and, you know, what the other person on the end of the phone is going to do. So just salute to the receptionist who handled the situation and took it seriously before something eventually happened. Because again, you know, it's easy to like, you know, just hang up, block a number for somebody who is obviously speaking gibberish. But the fact that they took this situation seriously before it escalated was a good thing. But looking at my inbox this morning, just to let you know, I was a bit shocked by this. A lot of people shared this with me, and it seems that this comes from Mr. Cole's Instagram directly. And this is something that I really wanted to triple or quadruple check my sources on, because as of right now, it is 12:15 p.m. on May 24th. So again, about not even a full 24 hours from the time when the story broke. I haven't seen anyone else really report on this. So let me just say up front, take this information with a grain of salt, because it has yet to be reported by any other source. If I'm wrong, I apologize in advance, and I don't want to put out false information, but I did, again, check some sources here. There was a post from Mr. Coles' personal Instagram that a lot of people are sending me, and it was posted to his account 4 days ago, which, if I'm not mistaken, would be around Friday or May 20th. With the caption saying, "Please share this. I was arrested by Tyler Perry Studios for terroristic threatening. The question is, if I threaten them, then why? They are trying to steal my TV series, Black Wall Street." And in the tag, in the caption, he's tagged the Shade Room, TMZ, 50 Cent, and a bunch of other, I guess you could say, entertainment or gossip, you know, sites or whatever the situation is, in order to put information out there. And there was a caption, "Black Wall Street coming soon." Basically, he had a picture of like a letter and a script pretty much describing the series and whatnot. And it's interesting because if this is really the situation where Mr. Coles contacted Tyler Perry Studios to speak with him directly in regards to a series idea that he pitched, but, you know, probably didn't get any follow-up on, but maybe there's some news of an upcoming Tyler Perry project in which he feels he was ripped off, I do find that like a mirror image somewhat of a situation from 2018. I believe it was April, May, June. It was that early part of 2018 where Oprah Winfrey was sued by a pastor saying that she copied his idea and created Greenleaf. And I was wondering if that was why Greenleaf was off the air for a good portion of that year, because of behind the scenes lawsuits. But then when the show finally, came out again, things must have been settled. So from there, I'm just wondering if this is a similar situation. Thankfully, though, in the Oprah Greenleaf scenario, there were no bomb threats. Now, going back to a man being arrested due to making threats / demands at Tyler Perry Studios, let's go all the way back to 2014, where Tyler Perry sues an accused stalker for trespassing at his studio property, demanding $125,000. This story, let me see here, because I remember this. I was working at the call center, and I remember Tyler Perry, I don't know if they still do this, but I remember Tyler Perry Studios had like a newsletter you could sign up for, and you could get emailed updates on things that were going on with the studios. But Joshua Soul, I believe, was the name of the individual. He was demanding one-on-one time to talk with Tyler Perry himself. Oh, going back to what I said earlier, because I was reading the title of the article, going over the story, and it turns out Tyler Perry was the one demanding the $125,000. But here's why. Let's break it down. Basically, due to Joshua not being able to get in contact with Tyler Perry Studios, he straight up turned into like a Mission Impossible movie. Apparently, according to the lawsuit, he disengaged the power to disable different alarms and surveillance equipment at the studio and climbed through a suspended ceiling in the studio. The Atlanta police were called to respond to the situation at hand. Apparently, Joshua barricaded himself in an administrative office. One of his superiors told the cops that employee Joshua Soul has been acting weird. It took them 4 hours to collar Soul and book him at Fulton County Jail. Ironically enough, the same situation as Mr. Cole. He was released later that day on a $7,000 bond, meaning he put up nothing of value. All right. Now, from there, Tyler Perry was asking for not only $100,000, but $25,000 for attorney fees, along with banning Soul from coming within 500 feet of him and to force the accused stalker to undergo psychological evaluation and treatment. Perry claims he's entitled to the whopping amounts of money because of the discomfort and annoyance caused by the diminished value of peaceful enjoyment he gets from the studio, according to the lawsuit. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, heaven forbid anybody listening to this video has had a home invader. I mean, imagine, you coming home from work or you're asleep and somebody breaks into your home. You'll never be able to walk into your home with the same peace of mind you did beforehand, because you're always going to be looking over your shoulder, to see if anybody was there. And keep in mind, Tyler Perry Studios is a pretty big place, but at the end of the day, to have an intruder looking to potentially harm you or others is a scary thought. But going back to the original story, covered in the video, again, I'm just glad nobody was hurt, and this situation was pacified before it truly would have gotten out of hand. Because think of how big Tyler Perry Studios is, and the number of workers, actors, probably even, like families, or I don't know if they're doing tours and whatnot, but maybe if they are like colleges where there are different classes that might come to visit Tyler Perry Studios. Again, I don't know the day-to-day operations, but I think it's safe to assume there's a sizable number of people on that property at any given time. And to imagine someone threatening to not just destroy that studio, but a good number of lives is truly disturbing. But like I said, maybe more news on this story will unfold as the week goes on, because it's only Tuesday. And if it is about a whole story idea that was stolen, that's still no reason to threaten to, blow up property and kill people. So keep your ear to the ground. If you come across any news updates, feel free to let me know. Links to my social media are in the description below if you want to chat. And with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.